Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my studio. In today's lesson, I'm going to be painting a bouquet of these beautiful coral roses, and I'm going to be painting with this Catalyst Wedge tool. We're going to be having a lot of fun swooping the paint across this canvas and learning to loosen up our style so that we can just enjoy the painting process all the more. So I hope you like and subscribe, and let's just jump into this. Okay, so to start off with, I'm just going to block in some of the shapes of these snowberries and these roses here with this large paddle brush. I've put out a little of the glazing medium, and I'm just going to kind of give a little layer of that glazing medium and a little bit of water over this whole canvas just to give it a nice base for the paint to kind of, more easily glide around on. Okay, and I'll put a link to my supplies in the description, so of course you'll get to, see what I'm using. And so next I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna and some of that quinacridone red. And I'm just going to block in a few of these roses. I'm going to pick these three here. So I'm going to just swoop in some of that rose color, and it'll make a nice base, so that you want to get the dark in there first, because then you'll get the light colors to show up better. So we're going to leave some room here for those winter berries, and so just put another rose shape in here. And what I like about using this Catalyst wedge is you can make most like super cool and loose brush strokes just by, like you can see how quick it just moves that paint along. And I've kind of come up with that little technique of underpainting with some of that medium, just because it just helps the paint to glide along. These are these value pack canvases from, Michael's craft store, and so they're usually a little on the rougher side, so it just helps to get that little layer down there. You could also gesso them. Let me know in the comments if you pre-gesso your canvases, or do you just get right into it. So I'm going to now, I want to put those winter berries in there, but I'm going to use a bit of Viridian, and I'm going to mix it right into that puddle with the burnt sienna and everything. And I want to get that kind of dark undertone of the green in there first, so that I can really, show off those winter berries. And you can see right away there's now a nice contrast to the roses. So, and I want to make it some abstract marks as well. See, now as I'm in the mood to really loosen up here, sometimes you have those days where you gotta just paint something, and make it kind of different. So right now I'm just using some Viridian green, and I'm putting in some abstract shapes, but also kind of putting in here and there some more, kind of like more of a leafy shape. So I'm getting that in there, and I'm going to leave the background till the end this time. And there we go. I'm just going to put in some of that in there. So now I've got a good composition, and I've got room for my winter berries. I can use the wipe off technique to put in some of those little winter berries. So you could use the edge of your Catalyst tool to wipe away some little spots. Another thing you could do is just use the tip of your paper towel and sort of dab away where you want some of them to go. And I would do this if I was using, you know, my oil paint as well. So I just take my finger even through the paper towel that's wet and just dab away. Make sure you change it up so your paper towel keeps getting cleaned off. It's going to look really fun with those little dabs of delicateness in the mix of these big roses. You know, you have the little dots of pink in there. Okay, so we got some of those winter berries now in there. So now I'm going to go back to my palette and mix up something for the highlight there. So I'm going to try a few different variations and see which one works best. I'm going to start with some orange and some of that quinacridone red, because I know that that can make a nice coral color. So I'm going to just mix in some of that and just kind of add that. So if you're new to my channel, I have lots of these under my playlist. I have a whole playlist of Catalyst Wedge lessons, so you can look them up. And also, we're getting near the end of a whole year of doing, you know, 1 or 2 of these a week, and I'm still trying to get to my goal of 10,000 followers. It's my personal goal. You know, it helps me keep going. I love all the comments you've given me, have been so kind, and it just kept me going. So I really appreciate your support, and I never really beg for it, but you guys have been really generous. But if you could help me make my goal, that would be awesome. So now I've added a little bit of something a little lighter, so that mix wasn't showing up as bright as I wanted. So I added a little, another go-to coral mix is making some cad red and some yellow and white. So I'm going to try that for another mix. It might be just a little more thicker, more opaque, because I'm using the cadmium colors. And the whole thing is just don't overthink it, you know. Got to tell myself that too. It's easy to kind of overdo it, overthink it. Just put in some rose petal shapes. I'm making all these nice thick marks here, and it's looking really fun. And just kind of go around for the center. Get some more of that kind of light mixture going. Okay, so once you get the roses in there, now we can go back to the snowberries. I'm going to add, using that same rose kind of mixture, I'm just going to add some white in there because I want to keep it simple and Just going to dab in, looking at this kind of base color here. I might want to add a little bit of that green in there. So I'll add a little bit of that green. In there. And see what I can do. And I got a few other tools that might work better. I've got some Catalyst tools that, you know, like this one here is the Catalyst by Princeton tool as well. So I'm going to try that. So I'm just going to put in a few. That might be a little easier. I'm the type who likes to kind of use one brush for the whole thing, because I get painting and then I just kind of get into a mode. I'm going to add a little more yellow to that. And really kind of abstract and pretty. The marks start to add a real rhythm to the painting. So now I want to go and put kind of that light on that one side. So I'm going to mix some white into those, into that same puddle. And kind of add a little bit of that light to it. You know, you can't make perfect marks. You just have to make, you know, a mark that as quick and easy as you can to get that sort of the loose effect of painting with these tools. And because it's really an abstract painting, you know, you don't have to worry if you don't put them all exact. And then now I'm going to go and add some different greens. So I'm going to use my Viridian and add some of that yellow in there. And to calm the green, if it's too bright, just add a little bit of that, you know, you can add some of that burnt sienna to it, and that will really kind of calm that green down. But we can put some of that those different greens in there. And I might even add a little bit of that pink mixture just to lighten some of those marks up. And just put in some loose strokes to show that green. You can use the edge of this little tool to kind of put in some stem marks. And because I've got the canvas on there, I have to kind of pull it off there to make some marks there. And I'm going to add a little more white to the mix and kind of add a few real nice bright marks here and there. So some stems. Add a little highlight here and there. You just kind of go with your gut, you know, and just put some marks in there and see where it all goes. And now I want to go back and add some background here and there, and I want it to be kind of really neutral. So I got out this color from Liquitex Basics called Gray Green, and I really like that color just to use for the background. So I could use this little small tool, the mini it's called, and I could start off with that to get in some of those nice background, you know, parts there. Work that in. Like that. You can work it in here and there. Making some nice abstract marks. And it looks cool with the bits of white coming through. Kind of makes it a little more modern. And I really like how leaving that, you know, giving that background a quick wash of that, the glazing medium really helped the paint to glide on really well. Let's get that one last bit there. And my apologies for my filming. I'm a one woman show here, and I try my best to get it as good as I can, but I'm an artist and not a TV never done anything with filming or anything, so, and I just don't have time just to spend hours editing. I also have 2 kids and a dog, and I work really hard at my day job, so I've got it all happening here. And I'm going to add a little white now into the gray, so I can get a few nice, just some lighter, I love to mix layers, so got some lighter grays, you know, coming in there. Kind of gives it a cool effect. Pop a few grays in here. And then I'm going to go back and just maybe add a few little pops of pink to the rose, and so I'm going to get some white and a little, got out some cad red light. I'll try that and just sort of Had some of those little. Okay, well, I think that about does it for the the winter berries and the roses and how to paint with the catalyst wedge tool. I think we covered out how to loosen up, and you can see how fun it is. I hope that you tune into my other lessons, and I hope you enjoyed this little lesson as much as I did. So yeah, don't forget to tune in to my channel and share it with a friend. And I hope you have a great day, and happy painting, everybody.